Welcome back everybody, DestinysJesus here. In this video we're actually going ahead and copying what VADEAL does to work on his piece control and his mechanics. It's basically his full warm-up and practice routine he's been using for a long time now, and it's ends to be probably the best fighter in the world. He recently just won a solo cash cup, he's absolutely dominating all the recent tourneys, and he's pretty much the most scared W keyer in EU. Everybody in game, as soon as they see him, runs the opposite way. So I'm basically copying what he does for an entire week, seeing how much improvement we get from day 1 to day 7 of doing this routine. Let's get straight into this. Okay, so this is how the routine looks, and it's basically the most optimal way that I found of doing it over these past 7 days. So go ahead and load BHE 1v1 build fights. Basically just do 5 to 10 minutes of free building. Make sure your fingers are quite nice and warmed up. From there, you go ahead and do Raiders piece control practice map. This is probably the best map in my opinion for working on your piece control. Raiders did an amazing job on it, and he runs through all 16 scenarios in a row back to back while using a purple tack, or gold tack in this case, and then also a blue AR. From there, you come into Skybox and you actually go ahead and just do 2 scenarios on here, and then finish off either do BHE 1v1s with a charge and attack, or you do finest realistics and basically just swap up your loadout. So let's run through this real quick and give you guys kind of a demo of what it looks like. So first things first is BHE 1v1s. This is basically just a map where you use free builds. One thing I recommend, and VADEAL actually recommends himself, is to always use a shotgun while you're doing it. Don't just practice pulling out your pickaxe, because it kind of messes up the input delay. I think pickaxe has less input delay when you're editing, but obviously in game, if you're trying to get better in arena or for tournaments and not just creative, you should be using a shotgun as you do your free builds. Just use whatever you use in game. Okay, so the second thing is basically before you even 1v on your friends and anything like that, it's just to go into Raiders piece control. This is something I've seen a lot of pros started doing, but I would highly recommend that you literally run through everything on here. So just grab a purple tack, grab whatever AR you prefer, and get into all these scenarios. Normally, and what VADEAL does is basically run through every single scenario in order. The earlier ones are kind of left and right, and then you kind of mix up. One thing I think really useful on here is actually number 15, which is basically this scenario swapping one, where you're practicing a load of different variants, and you obviously have to go for piece control with cones and everything from different angles at the same time, which is extremely useful. Try to always think whenever you open the box and go for an edit, what pieces you can actually get, and try to get the maximum amount of piece control whenever you're in creative. And then let's say you just miss that in game, you'll still have some really good transfer of extra things that you should normally be getting. Really useful things in here like blueprint edits and cross boxes, these low ground edits where you have to do a smart edit from the side. And also this very last scenario on here I think is really useful as well. Basically the scenario where you come up, have to go ahead and break the wall, and then you immediately target swap and go for this target from above. So after you're done with the piece control map, come into Skybox Aim Trainer, put it up on screen at the top there, and then just instantly go ahead and grab an AR. You can also do an SMG, and you basically just 2 main scenarios. There's also an extra scenario on here that I'd recommend, which is really useful. But first of all, just horizontal, pretty standard stuff. You can either do medium range like this, then just hit the start button and then target will track across your screen. You can also do some close range as well. And basically just do this until your mouse feels kind of warm and you feel like you're really on point with your shots. After this, you want to go ahead and come over back to the hub and then go into vertical. Basically just practice this scenario where the zombies actually go down straight up at the same time. This is really useful for anybody kind of using endgame, and also just practicing aiming vertically, which a lot of people are really bad at in the format. One extra scenario I'd recommend adding in is just this moving targets one. You can either do it 1 HP for a long distance, just like so, or you can just do it 100 HP for medium, and basically just practice tap firing and being really accurate on these zombies as they bounce. Now the last part is warm up, and why I think it's so good is just that you only need to 1v1 somebody at the very end. You can basically do all the previous steps without needing a friend, and this last one you can obviously just do realistic 1v1 matchmaking. What we don't actually recommend is making sure you do a lot of realistics rather than just doing BHE. Obviously that's quite situational, it does warm you up, but with all the previous steps you should normally be warmed up enough by the time you get into the 1v1s that you can do straight realistics like I'm now. Gives you a load of practice with different varieties of guns. You can practice with charges, with floppers, you can go for bounce plays. The end goal whenever you're doing any kind of practice routine is the fact that you want it to be as efficient as possible in terms of your time. You're not wasting time doing random things, especially like just going for cranking and BHE 1v1s isn't always the most realistic, valuable practice. Okay, so now let's get into the actual transformation of this progress from 1 week of doing this routine. On day one, the one thing I noticed, my aim had drastically improved compared to how I was previously in trios. I was just missing loads of shots and let my teammates carry me. I was doing a lot more, and also my piece control was starting to come in. I was getting a lot of extra walls that I didn't really notice that I was going for before, and also the fact I was just going for a lot more full box on people endgame rather than just aim dueling them. Okay, so this is by day 3 where I was actually going for a lot more full box on people. Mainly was just practicing in arena, actually trying to utilize it. But one thing I was noticing was I was getting way more full boxes, and I was being a lot more creative with the plays that I was making in game.
Oh, DJ, mate.
So in days 4 and 5, I didn't really have much to practice in terms of arena, so I was just doing zone wars, which is pretty one of the best ways that you can work on your piece control, because it's pretty much essential if you want to kill a good player in zone wars to go for a full box, to actually go for multiple shots. I mean, using pumps as well, it's a little bit different. A lot of top players, especially VADEAL in particular, does a lot of zone wars wages and actually practicing a lot, and it is one of the best ways to showcase your skill and develop your piece control. Also, one thing I noticed was the fact that I was going for a lot more boxes from the low ground on people, where you can basically just do those counter peeks upwards, and they're really effective in game and catch a lot of players off guard. So as we come into day 7, this is basically where everything started to come together. I felt really good whenever I came on to actually warm up. I was basically doing things throughout the week, so I was only playing a small amount, but because of the fact I was playing for a small amount, but my practice was really smart and efficient, I was still improving, actually making significant progress. One nice tip that I think I actually learned from a VADEAL VOD ages ago, but I didn't include the video, is just that backwards stare thing you saw I did there, where I placed the stare upside down in somebody's box, and it catches them completely off guard. Anyway, I'll let you guys kind of enjoy these clips and the progress that I made. I actually would really recommend that you guys copy any type of pro routine, either the VADEAL one from this video, or even the no one, or even go out onto my course and check out Reasons one in particular. That's a really useful one to do. And basically just copy what they're doing and implement your own gameplay and see how much you improve. It is really drastic how much just having a smart program that you can copy for yourself and how much that improves you. I'd really recommend everybody to do this, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of these clips of me just on Kids in Arena. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and also subscribe if you're new.